Well, Americans appear to be at a crossroads with angry mobs and the PC police in full-on assault, targeting anyone who doesn't agree with their point of view. President Trump is urging freedom-loving Americans not to give in. Listen.
One of their political weapons is cancel culture, driving people from their jobs, shaming dissenters, and demanding total submission from anyone who disagrees. If you do not speak its language, perform its rituals, recite its mantras, and follow its commandments, then you will be censored, banished, blacklisted, persecuted, and punished. Not going to happen to us.
Well, our next guest isn't afraid to speak his mind. In a recent interview, he compared the outrage mob to hostage takers, saying we should not negotiate with them. He's the host of the Adam Carolla Show podcast and the author of the new book, I'm Your Emotional Support Animal, Navigating Our All-Woke, No-Joke Culture. Well, joining us now is the man himself, Adam Carolla. Adam, so great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, I gotta say, I bet the left is just lining up for your book, left and right. There's probably a line around the block. But this cancel culture stuff, which you address a lot in your book, it just seems like we see something new almost every single day. I'm still shocked by it. I shouldn't be at this point. But where is the end? Is there an end in sight? Or are people just gonna learn to suck it up? Or what's your take?
There is no end, and I'll tell you why there's no end. First off, if you really think about the phrase or the term progressive movement, look up the two words progress and movement, and it's perpetual. Movement means movement, and progress means progress. So there's no finish line, there's no ending spot. But the real reason it's not going to end is they're not as interested in the cause as they say they are. So here's what I'm saying. If you have a leaky roof and you don't want your living room to have water in it, you go up to the roof, you patch the roof. Once it stops leaking, you come back in and enjoy your home. You don't go back up to the roof again, right? But what if the leaking stopped and you just kept going back up to the roof? That would suggest it transcends a hole in your roof. There's something bigger at play here. So when they say, here's what we want, take down these, change this institution, take down this statue, here's what we go. And you go, fine, we'll do all of it. And they go, no, wait a minute, we're not done. They just keep going. And it suggests to me that they don't really think the problem is as big as the problem is. Otherwise, they wouldn't continue. There's a sort of a backward math you have to do on that. But the people who want to cancel, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or anyone on late night named Jimmy, the people that are so offended by this guy doing a character or something that person said, they're really not offended by it. They really don't care. They want to cancel you. They want you to bow before them. They want you to apologize to them to make them feel powerful. That's all. They're not really interested in the cause.
Interesting. By the way, a nice leaky roof analogy. You don't get that often, and we got it here today, clearly. Hey, Adam, let me read you something you said on Twitter about the government. I thought this was pretty interesting. You said, the government that sent $4 billion in stimulus payments to dead people is the same one you want administering health care for all, solving racism, and getting the economy back. Get your own, whatever, together. The government is incompetent and won't save you. You're sounding a little bit like Trump. You're sounding like Trump.
Well, I'm just a pragmatist. I mean, I've been around long enough, and I grew up, and I had a mom who was a hippie mom, welfare, food stamps. She wanted the government to save her. The government never did save her, didn't save us. Nobody saves you. You save you. Everyone needs to save themselves. The government is incompetent. Look, I went to the DMV 2 months ago, and I tried to renew my driver's license, and they said, oh, we don't accept credit card. And I didn't have cash on me. And they said, do you have cash? And I said, no. And they said, do you have a checkbook? And I said, no, I don't carry around my checkbook. I have a check. I have a credit card. They said, we don't accept credit cards. We have a pilot program that we're working with and on. We may transition into credit cards. Now, what other business in 2020 doesn't accept credit cards? Well, that's the government. That's the DMV.
That's crazy.
What other business would do that?
All right.
Maybe some in New York City. Sometimes there's still all cash there. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, if you're selling Lucy's in front of a bodega, yeah, that's a cash transaction.
Well, Adam, you're not a big fan of political correctness. You're very clear about that in your book. But something David and I were talking about earlier is what would a world look like with President Carolla? What would that look like?
Oh, it'd be a utopia, first of all. Look, it'd be a free world. It'd be a world where you were in charge of your own safety. First off, I would go to the beach and I would take down all the signs that said no dogs, no frisbees, no fun, no beer, no fire, no singing, no radios. First thing I would do is liberate the beaches. The second thing I would do is you talk about abolishing ICE. I would abolish the Department of Building and Safety. Those guys drive me insane. And it'd be a bunch of people that were into personal responsibility, and I would focus much less on self-esteem and much more on character. We replaced character with the self-esteem movement. You notice about 25 years ago, we took self-esteem and we used it to replace character. Now we got a bunch of 23-year-olds with super high self-esteem and no character. That's an issue.
Yeah, that's what social media will get for you. Well, it sounds like a nice place to live if we can all have great character and live on the beach together. Adam Carolla, so great to have you. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
All right, well, don't go away. We'll be right back with some of our thoughts on these top issues.